If you're thinking about moving into a GRC or cybersecurity risk role from IT or from another field, from wherever you are, the biggest lie you have probably told yourself is that you would need to start over and that you would need to go back to school, get a computer science degree, start at an entry level as a junior analyst, and just rebuild from scratch. And that is not true. And today I want to show you why. This video is for two groups of people. The first group of people are people who are already in cybersecurity or IT, doing good technical work and feel like they're stuck in the wrong lane or the wrong level. You have the experience, you have the skills, but your career isn't reflecting it. The second group of people are people who are coming from a completely different field, like finance, healthcare, military, legal, project management, and looking at GRC as a potential path, but worry they don't have the right background. To both groups, you have more to work with than you think. The challenge isn't what you know, it is how you position what you know. That is what the repositioning framework is about. The repositioning framework has three components, and I want to walk you through each one. Component number one is risk language shift. Every professional has a native language, the way they describe their work, naturally. For IT professionals, the native language is technical. For finance professionals, it's financial. For healthcare professionals, it is clinical. GRC leadership speaks in one language, and that is risk. Risk language is not complicated. It is, what is the likelihood this bad thing happens? What is the business impact if it does? What is my recommendation for how we respond to that? That's it. Likelihood, impact, recommendation. If every piece of work you have ever done, every vulnerability you've had to assess, every compliance gap you've documented, every audit you've helped with can be rewritten in risk language. And when it is, it sounds like senior GRC work, regardless of your title. Let me give you a concrete example. Let's talk about the technical version. Identified missing patches on 47 endpoints. The severity is high, recommended recommendation, timeline, 30 days. Risk language version. We have 47 unpatched systems creating an exploited attack surface. Based on the current threat activity against this type of vulnerability, I estimate a meaningful probability of exploitation within 60 days if unaddressed. The business impact of a successful breach at this entry point would include operational disruption and likely regulatory notification. I'm recommending we prioritize this above the Q3 planned infrastructure project. Same work, one sounds like a technician doing a job, the other sounds like someone who understands business risks. The shift is not about knowing more, it is about framing what you already know differently. Component two is strategic visibility map. Most professionals, technical or not, are invisible to the people who make promotion and hiring decisions. Not because their work is bad, because their work just doesn't travel. A technical finding filed in a ticketing system is invisible. A risk recommendation presented in a meeting is visible. A written risk summary that gets forwarded to the CTO is very visible. Strategic visibility is about getting your work in front of decision makers in a form they can act on. For existing cybersecurity professionals, this means changing how you document and deliver your work. Stop writing reports for your technical peers and start writing them for leadership team. Career changers, this means starting to talk about your current work in risk terms before you have a GRC title. Your financial audit experience is a risk assessment work. Your healthcare compliance experience is regulatory governance work. Your military operations experience is risk management and contingency planning work. You are already doing this. You just are not calling it that. Component three is the career narrative. The career narrative is the story you tell when someone asks, "So what do you do?" Or in an interview, "Tell me about yourself." Most people answer this question by listing their job titles and responsibilities in reverse chronological order. This is a resume readback. It does not position you. A repositioned career narrative connects your background to where you're going. It sounds like, I have spent X years working in this field or this function, specifically focused on some type of relevant work that connects to GRC. I've been building toward a GRC risk role because, and explaining a specific reason that shows insight and commitment. What I bring that is unusual is talk about your transferable skills. For a finance professional, I have spent 8 years as a financial risk analyst, specifically modeling credit risk and operational risk exposure. I've been transitioning toward information security risk because the analytical frameworks I use every day, expected loss modeling, risk adjustment decision making, map directly to how mature cybersecurity risk programs are run. What I bring that is unusual is a quantitative risk background that most cybersecurity candidates don't have. For a healthcare compliance professional, I have spent 6 years managing regulatory compliance programs in healthcare, such as HIPAA, CMS, Joint Commission. I've been moving toward GRC in cybersecurity because security programs have the same regulatory accountability structure I've been working within. And cybersecurity organizations are increasingly being held to the same standards. What I bring that most candidates don't is years of experience working directly with external auditors and regulators. These narratives don't require a GRC job title. They require that you have connected the dots between what you have done and where you're going. I want to be direct about something. If you have a background in finance, healthcare, military, legal, or project management, and you're worried that you're starting from zero, you're looking at this backwards. The people who start from zero in GRC are the ones with pure technical backgrounds who have never had to think about business impact, regulatory obligation, or organizational decision making. They spend years learning what you already know intuitively. You're not behind. You are approaching this from a different angle, and that angle is valuable if you know how to position it. The repositioning framework, risk language shift, strategic visibility map, and career narrative is how you translate your existing background into GRC terms. It is not about pretending you have experience you don't have. It is about accurately representing the experience you do have in the language that GRC hiring managers and promotion committees are actually listening for. For people already in cybersecurity and IT, the same applies. You're not starting over either. You are reframing what you are already doing. The career change is not about the work changing. It is about how you talk about it, write about it, and present it. If you've not grabbed the 3-lane test yet, it is in the description. And it shows you all 3 career lanes: governance, risk, and compliance, with the roles at each level, the salary ranges, the certifications, and the first move for each lane. If you are already in cybersecurity, it tells you which direction in GRC matches how you already think. If you are transitioning from another field, it shows you which door to walk through first. And if this framework, the repositioning framework, is something you want to apply to your actual situation with a structured system for doing it, I put together a workbook that walks you through all of it. It's linked in the description. Also, if you need a resume update, check out the GRC resume rewrite that is in the description as well. Next week, I'm going to decode what GRC actually means, not the acronym, but the thinking framework, and why understanding it changes how you move in any professional context. I'll see you then.